Okay, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, we'll start.
Okay.
My slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have started this chapter, that is performance of the transmission line. I hope in the last class we have started. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So classification of overhead transmission line. So there are three different types of transmission lines are there, that is categorized as short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission line. Now this category of this particular classification, it is based on there are two parameters. First parameter is the voltage and second is your distance. So these are the two basic guidelines. Based on that, the transmission lines are classified. Now first we'll discuss what is the short transmission line. Now in case of short transmission line, the line length is about 50 kilometer, 50 kilometer, and the voltage level, it is less than 20 kV. So we have to remember that if there is a short transmission line, that short transmission line will basically, the length of the transmission line will be 50 kilometer and the voltage level is less than 20 kV. Now, in this case, we have to remember that for short transmission line, the effect of capacitance is neglected because we know that the transmission line circuit. I will share that thing in the whiteboard. So if you see any transmission line, it is look like this, something like this. So this is R, this is L, and this is C. So resistance and inductance, these two parameters are connected in series, and this capacitance, it is connected in parallel. But for short transmission line, the effect of C is neglected. Effect of C is neglected. So in case of short transmission line, there will not be any capacitance. Okay, so short transmission line, it is represented by a resistance in series with the inductance. Yes or no? Clear? Okay. So therefore, while studying the performance of a short transmission line, only resistance and inductance of the lines are taken into account. Now let us say now we'll go to the medium transmission line. Now the medium transmission line, the voltage level of the medium transmission line, it is between 20 kV, greater than 20 kV, and it is less than 100 kV. And the length of the transmission line, it is 50 kilometer to 150 kilometer. So when the length of an overhead transmission line is about 50 to 150 kilometer, and the line voltage is moderately high, it is between greater than 20 kV and less than 100 kV, it is considered as a medium transmission line. Now in this case, we have to understand that the effect of capacitance will be counted, okay, because due to the sufficient length and voltage of the line, the capacitance effects are taken into account. So in this case, we cannot neglect the effect of capacitance. For the purpose of calculation, the distributed capacitance of the line is divided and lumped in the form of condensers shunted across the line at one or more points. So when these capacitance and this basically the resistance, inductance, and capacitance, these parameters are distributed throughout the length of the line. But for the calculation and for the sake of simplicity, we have to understand that these parameters are lumped. These parameters are basically concentrated. Okay, and these parameters, these capacitance parameters, this is connected across the shunt path. Next is the long transmission line. So long transmission line, the voltage level in this case, it is greater than 100 kV and the line length is more than 150 kilometers. So if it is the case, then we'll say that particular line is a long transmission line. So for the treatment of such a line, the line constants are considered uniformly distributed over the whole length of the line, and rigorous methods are employed for the solution. So we'll see, we will go for the analysis for all the different types of line, that is short transmission line, medium transmission line, as well as the long transmission line. Now, in case of long transmission line, we'll have a separate method that is known as the rigorous method. We'll see that how to do those things. We'll take up one by one with examples, numerical problems, okay, and the analysis for the different types of transmission lines. Now, there are two important terms. First is the voltage regulation and then the efficiency. These are the two important terms which we have to understand clearly for the evaluation of the performance of the transmission line. So any performance parameter. So when we talk on the performance, so performance of this transmission line means there are two major parameters which is actually contributing towards the voltage, towards the performance of the transmission line. Those parameters are, first is the voltage regulation and second is the efficiency. Now, what is voltage regulation in case of a transmission line? So voltage regulation, it is basically difference between the sending end voltage minus receiving end voltage by the receiving end voltage into 100. So in general, it is when a transmission line is carrying current, there is a voltage drop in the line due to the resistance and inductance of the line. The result is that receiving end voltage of the line is generally less than the sending end voltage. So this voltage drop, Vs minus Vr, if the line is expressed as a percentage of the receiving end voltage Vr, is called the voltage regulation. So the difference in voltage at the receiving end of a transmission line between condition of the low of no load and full load is also called the voltage regulation, and it is expressed percentage voltage regulation. It is Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100. So we need to understand this thing. I will discuss this thing. So you see, this is a transmission line. Okay. So let us say it may be a short transmission line. So this is your sending end voltage, this is Vs, and this is your VR. And let us say the current, it is Is, and this is your IR. So what will happen when this current will flow through this line, there will be two drops. One will be that the series drops. There will be two series drop. What are those series drop? One will be the voltage drop across R, and second one is voltage drop across L. So when there will be a voltage drop, so we will get VR, the voltage available at the receiving end. This will be greater or less? Tell me.
Less.
So VR will be less than Vs. Okay. So that means the receiving end voltage will be less than the sending end voltage. So Vs minus VR, that is your actually the voltage drop. This is your voltage drop. Now, when we have to calculate the voltage regulation of the line, so voltage regulation this is equal to, it is defined as VR, voltage regulation. This is equal to Vs minus VR. This is the voltage drop by the receiving end voltage into 100%. So this is the basic definition of the voltage regulation. Okay, how to calculate the voltage regulation of a transmission line. Clear? Any doubt? Anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so voltage regulation, from the common sense, this value should be very high. If it is very high or if it is very low, which is desirable? Let us say the voltage regulation, this VR is high, and one case this VR is, let us say VR is low. So which one is preferred? The voltage regulation should be high or it should
Low, sir. Sir, low.
So we'll prefer that voltage regulation should be low. Because why? Because Vs minus VR, this value should be low. Okay. Otherwise, if this is high, so what will happen? The voltage drop will be high. So receiving end voltage will be very less. Okay. Receiving end voltage will be very less. That is not desired actually. So in short, the voltage regulation of a transmission line, it has to be very low. So then only we'll say that is a very good performance parameter. Just a minute, I will share my PPT. Okay. So obviously it is desirable that the voltage regulation of a transmission line should be low. That is, increase in the load current should make very little difference in the receiving end voltage. Next is the transmission efficiency. Now, efficiency term, I think you are familiar. You have calculated efficiency of rotating machines also. I think you have already DC machine. Yes or no? Which machine you have studied?
Yes, sir. DC.
Transformer and DC machine.
Yes. So
DC
there you have calculated the efficiency. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So similarly, in case of transmission line also, we are supposed to calculate how to calculate the transmission efficiency. Now, whenever we will calculate the efficiency of any electrical machines or electrical equipments or electrical system, that time we have to understand that what is the output power by the input power into 100%. So this is the common practice, that how to calculate the efficiency of any system. Now, if in this case, in this particular case, we have the output power means there will be the receiving end power. There will be a sending end in transmission line. We have to understand there is a sending end. Sending end means from the location where the power is fed to the customers, and receiving end means from where the power is collected. So the receiving end power by the sending end power into 100, that is your voltage regulation. Okay, so the power obtained at the receiving end of a transmission line is generally less than the sending end power due to losses in the line resistance. Okay, so basically what will happen in case of a transmission line, when the current will flow, so there will be I square R loss. So this I square R loss basically will cause the less amount of power will be available in the receiving end, and because of that, what will happen? Whatever power you are sending from the sending end, the same amount of power will not reach. It will the less amount of power will reach at the receiving end. So the ratio of receiving end power to the sending end power of a transmission line is known as the transmission efficiency. So transmission efficiency, it is defined as eta T. Eta is the efficiency and T is for the transmission line. So it is receiving end power by the sending end power into 100. Now receiving end power and sending end power, I will go to the board how to calculate this. Now this transmission efficiency, it is represented by eta T. It is basically receiving end power divided by sending end power. So how to calculate what is the receiving end power? See, this Vs, Is, and cos phi s. These are the basically your sending end parameter. What is Vs? What is Vs?
Sending voltage.
Sending end voltage.
Okay. Vs is the sending end voltage, Is is the sending end current, and cos phi s is the your power factor of the sending end. Okay. Similarly, Vr, Ir, and cos phi r, these are all related with your receiving end. These are all your receiving end power. Okay. So the receiving end power will be equal to Vr into Ir into cos phi r divided by Vs into Is into cos phi s into 100. So that is percentage. So eta T, this is calculated like that is Vs Vr into Ir into cos phi r by Vs into Is into cos phi s into 100%. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll start with the short transmission line. So we'll discuss that. First thing is performance of a single phase short transmission line. So I have told you that in case of a short transmission line, the effect of capacitance, it is neglected. So effect of capacitance, if it is neglected, then we have only resistance and inductance. Okay. So the circuit diagram of a short transmission line, if we want to represent a short transmission line, so I will go to the board and I will show you. So we have a resistance, we have a inductance, and this is your neutral path, best return path. This is your Vs. This is your Er, that is receiving end. This is your Is, receiving sending end current, receiving end current. This is R and this is L. Okay, and here we are connecting a load. Okay, this is your load which is connected across the receiving end. Circuit is clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us. We need to draw the phasor diagram. Okay. First I will show you that thing, and then you will understand that. So in this case, you see, we'll assume certain parameters that I is the load current. In this case, it is Is equal to Ir equal to I, because it is a series current. So sending end current and receiving end current equal to the load current. So it is same. And R is the loop resistance, that is the resistance of both the conductors. XL is the loop reactance, means go and return. Loop means go and return. Both the reactance. Okay. Then VR is the receiving end voltage. Cos phi R is the receiving end power factor. Vs is the sending end voltage, and cos phi S is the sending end power factor. So these are the nomenclature which is given in this particular circuit. Okay. Now we are going to draw the phasor diagram for this particular circuit. So how to draw this phasor diagram? Okay. Phasor diagram is very, very important. We need to understand that phasor diagram. Now we'll draw this phasor diagram. Anyone can draw. Just I am giving the opportunity. Anyone can draw this phasor diagram. Okay, I will draw. No issue. So, how to draw this? So you see here, you have to understand this IS equal to IR equal to I, because these are same current, series current. So we have to understand, we have to start from the receiving end. Always you remember, when you draw the phasor diagram, you will start always from the receiving end. Okay. And you have to find out which parameter is common. Okay, that you have to find out. So in this case, we can understand that current I is a common parameter. This is a common parameter which is flowing in the circuit. So first we'll draw the current. Okay, this is I. Now we know that the receiving end power factor is your cos phi r. So if it is a cos phi r, so obviously this VR will make an angle with this I, that will be phi r. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now after that, you see here we have drawn. Now there are two drops in the line because of this current. So there will be one drop will be your IR, and this is your XL, let us say, and there will be one more drop, that is IXL. Now let us say this IR drop, we know that IR drop will be always in phase with I. Okay, IR drop, that will be always in phase with, that means the direction of the IR drop will be same as the direction of I, because
Yes, sir.
scalar quantity, R is a scalar quantity. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll draw a IR line. This is your IR drop. Now this IXL drop, this will be
Bleeding.
perpendicular with IR. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this will be a perpendicular line. So this is your IXL drop. Now here plus IR plus IXL, what will be that?
Sir, VS.
That will be your VS, correct. So that means I will draw with the help of line, otherwise it is some tilted line it is coming. So this will be your VS. This is your VS. Now this VS is making an angle with I, that is your IS. Okay, so this is your phasor diagram for the short transmission. Is it clear? Any doubt? Anyone? You have not understood this phasor diagram?
Sir, please you can explain one more time, sir.
Okay, no issue. I will do that. I will do that. Okay, just a minute. I will erase it and I will redraw it so that clearly you can understand. I will redraw it. So we'll take I as your I phasor is a common parameter. That is clear, na? Why we are choosing I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I is a common parameter. Now next, this I is making an angle. There is a power factor of the receiving end that is given, that is cos phi r. So this is your here. So angle between these two is phi r. Now in this line, you can understand that IS equal to IR equal to I, because these all currents are equal, and we are assuming that current equal to your I. Now there will be two drops in the line, in the series line. One will be IR drop, another will be IXL drop. So IR drop is, that will be, the direction of the IR drop will be in parallel with I, and IXL, that will be always perpendicular with IR. Why this IXL drop is perpendicular? Anyone can tell why this IXL is perpendicular with this I?
Sir, because it's lead.
Because of lead, because this is I into J omega L. This L will contribute, sorry, this J will contribute 90 degree, plus 90 degree. And that's why it is perpendicular to IR. So now we'll draw this thing. So this is your IR. And then we have your IXL. And then finally, you are at this point, and this point, this will be your. So I will draw now. This is your IR. So I into R. This is I into XL, and this is your VS, and angle between VS and I. This is your phi S. Now it is clear, this phasor diagram. Somebody was asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I will have this. I will prefer that you will ask some questions. Okay, because then only you can understand. I'm sure that this is a new thing. So if you are asking your doubts, so it will be clear. Now what we are going to do, you see, this is the same thing which I have drawn. So here only thing, there is a perpendicular is drawn here. One perpendicular is drawn here. So we'll take a right angle triangle. So ODC is a right angle triangle. Now in this ODC, we can write this OD square plus DC square equal to OC square. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means now better is I should draw in the board, then it will be clear for you, because this derivation will not be clear otherwise. I think better I should go to the board and I will discuss. Fine. Just a minute. Okay. So here I will draw that thing similar way. So there is a perpendicular drawn here. There is a perpendicular drawn here. Okay, the similar way. And I will mark those points now. I will mark those points. So this is your O, this is your D, this is your C, this is your A, this is your B. For example, any name. And this is, let us say, A, B, C, D, E. Okay. For example, this is okay. Maybe the names, these points may be different in my slide, but anyway, that will be same. Okay. So for this right angle triangle, we can write OC square equal to OD square plus DC square. Now what is OD? OD equal to OE plus ED. Yes. Then this DC square equal to BD.
BD plus BC square.
BD plus BC whole square. So that means, now what is this OC? So this is, let us say, OC square. Now what is OC? OC is here, VS.
Yes, yes, sir.
Square. Now what is OE? OE is here. In this case, this will be VR cos phi r. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
One. So the projection of along x-axis, this will be VR cos phi r. Okay. This portion will be your, the projection of VR on this x-axis means along this direction. So that will be VR cos phi r.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So plus ED. ED is your
IR.
So this will be IR whole square plus BD will be equal to similar way. This portion will be your VR sin phi r. So this will be your VR sin phi r, and plus this will be BC equal to IXA whole square. So VS will be equal to, similarly, just if you want to take VS, so VS will be just, we have to take the square root of this. Is it clear how to calculate VS?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
So that thing, the similar thing it is done here. Similar thing. So now we'll calculate all the parameters. So voltage regulation, percentage voltage regulation, it is VS minus VR by VR into 100. That is, we are applying simply the formula. So if the VS is known, VR is known, so we can calculate this percentage voltage regulation. Then the sending end power factor, this sending end power factor, that is cos phi s. So I think I should calculate it. Cos phi s we need to calculate. It is very easy. Cos phi s. So I should erase this portion, then I can write. So from here you see, if we have to calculate the cos phi s, so cos phi s from this particular diagram, what is cos phi s? Anyone can tell? This is your phi s. This is your phi s. So cos phi s will be how much? This should be OD by
OP divided by OC.
OD by OC. So what is OD? OD is VR cos phi r plus IR divided by what is OC? That is your VS. So that is your basically cos phi s. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the same thing we have written here. Now we have to calculate the efficiency. So we know that the power delivered at the receiving end, that is VR IR cos phi r. Line losses will be I square into R. So sending end power will be receiving end power plus losses. So the transmission efficiency will be the receiving end power by the sending end power. So receiving end power is VR IR cos phi r and sending end power is VR IR cos phi r plus I square R into 100. Clear? Is it clear? Efficiency?
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any doubt? Any doubt on this short transmission line? I hope there is no doubt. Okay, fine. So next we'll see some numerical problem. So first numerical problem is a single phase overhead transmission line delivers 1100 kilowatt at 33 kV at 0.8 power factor lagging. The total resistance and inductive reactance of the line are 10 ohm and 15 ohm respectively. Determine the sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency. So in this case, the receiving end power, that is 1100 kilowatt, and the voltage level, it is 33 kV, power factor it is given, line resistance and reactance, these parameters are given. You have to calculate the sending end voltage, sending end power factor and the transmission efficiency. So how to calculate? So power factor it is given, that is cos phi r equal to 0.8. Now the total line impedance, that is Z equal to R plus JXL. So this parameter R and XL is given. So that is R is 10 and XL is 50. Voltage is 33 kV. So we need to calculate the current, line current. So line current we know the voltage divided by, power divided by VR cos phi r. So power is here, it is given 1100 kilowatt. So 1100 kilowatt we have converted to watt, that is 10 to the power 3, and VR is 33,000 volt. You see that is 33 kV. It is a single phase line. So there is no root 3. So only the power by the voltage into power factor. So we can calculate the current. Now if you have calculated the current, so VR equal to VR plus J0 means this VR is the, this is the basically your receiving end voltage. Now I will be, I is equal to I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r, because I has an angle of phi r. So we can express I is 41.67 we have written, cos phi r is 0.8, sin phi r will be 0.6. So this is, we have substituted all these values. Now the sending end voltage will be Vs equal to VR plus I into Z, because there is this VR plus I into Z. Z means what? R plus JXL. So I we have calculated, and this Z is J10 plus J15. So finally this VS can be calculated, because VS, this is in your let us say Cartesian form, and you can calculate this particular thing in magnitude also. That means this square plus this square and square root of that, that will be your magnitude of the VS. This point is clear up to this point. How to calculate VS? How to calculate VS, it is clear. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, how sin phi r has KMSL 0.6?
This one, nah?
Yes, sir.
Cos phi r is 0.8. Sin phi r will be how much? 1 minus sin phi r is what? Sin square phi r plus cos square phi r equal to 1. So from there, sin phi r can be calculated.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the angle. So angle alpha can be calculated. That is tan inverse of this 250 by, so angle of VS. So we have to calculate the what is the angle of the sending end. So then only we can calculate the power factor. So this by this will be your angle. This 250 by this one will be your angle. So that is tan inverse of that. So that is 0.42. That is the angle. Now, so sending end power factor angle will be receiving end power factor angle plus alpha. So alpha we have calculated. So we can calculate this angle, and then if you take the cos of that, that will be the sending end power factor. Okay. Now next is the line efficiency. How to calculate the line efficiency? So line efficiency, first you have to calculate what is the losses. So that is I square R. So I you have calculated, that is 41.67. So that is I square R. Now here you see that I square R is calculated, and output power, that is 1100 kilowatt. So that is your receiving end power. So receiving end power is 1100 kilowatt. So sending end power will be receiving end power plus the losses. Now the transmission efficiency will be power delivered by the power sent into 100. So if you substitute this value, so you will get 98.44%. Any question? Any question on this particular part? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Now next question is, what is the maximum length in kilometer for a single phase transmission line having copper conductor of 0.775 centimeter square, cross section over which 200 kilowatt at unity power factor and at 3300 volt are to be delivered. The efficiency of transmission is 90%. Take specific resistance is 1.725 micro centimeter. So in this case, your cross section of the line is given, the conductor cross section. It is a single phase line, and the total power which is transmitted, that is 200 kilowatt, the unity power factor, and voltage is 3300 volt. Efficiency of the transmission is 90%. Specific resistance, that is rho, is given. So we know R equal to rho L by R. Okay, yes or no? R equal to rho L by R. Okay. So how to calculate this thing? So receiving end power is given, that is 200 kilowatt, that is receiving end power. Transmission efficiency is 0.9. It is given here, that is transmission efficiency. Sending end power is, we can calculate, because it is, if you divide by the receiving end power, the efficiency will get the sending end power, because efficiency equal to receiving end power by the sending end power. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you know the sending end power and the receiving end power, so the line losses can be calculated, the difference of these two. Now, what is the line current? So line current will be, you know the power. So that power is 200 kilowatt. So 200 kilowatt is the power, and the voltage is, it is 3300 volt. So you can calculate from here, that is the line current. Now line losses you have calculated from this particular derivation. So this line losses equal to 2 into I square R. Why this 2 into I square R? Anyone can tell? It should not be I square R. It should be 2 into I square R. Why? Why it is 2 into I square R?
Sir, forward और returning दोनों
Correct,
conduct का हो।
correct. That is, we will have this type of configuration. Okay, one is this forward, another is the return. So when we do this thing, we have to understand that for the forward path, the line losses, it is I square R, and for the return path, this is your return path. So for the return path, it is I square R. So if you add this, it will be 2 into I square R. It will be 2 into I square R. So if you calculate this 2 into I square R equal to your this particular line loss. Now I we have already calculated. So R can be calculated. Okay. Now you know R. Now we know that resistance equal to R equal to rho L by A. Now here you see rho is given. Specific resistance it is given. Rho L we don't know. That is the length of the line we have to calculate, and A is given. Area of cross section is given. So L is equal to R into A by rho. So R is we have calculated, A we know, and rho is this one. So we can calculate the length of the line. Any question from here? Anyone? You have any?
No, sir.
No. So are you comfortable on the short transmission line? Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now quickly we have to take the attendance. Just I will stop share that thing and I will show you that QR code. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. All of you, please put your attendance. QR code is visible, na? QR code.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, please put your attendance. Okay, is it over? All of you? Is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no one is left, I think. Okay, I'll stop share this thing. Okay, so the next problem is an overhead three-phase transmission line delivers 5,000 kilowatt at 22 kV at 0.8 power factor lagging. The resistance and reactance of each conductor is 4 ohm and 6 ohm respectively. Determine the sending end voltage, percentage regulation, and transmission efficiency. This you have to calculate. So it is a three-phase transmission line. Previously we have done for a single phase line, and the power is 5,000 kilowatt, voltage is 22 kV, and it is 0.8 power factor. resistance and reactance, it is 4 ohm and 6 ohm. Determine the sending end voltage, percentage regulation, and transmission efficiency. So it is the same way. It's a nothing different. Okay. Cos phi r is given. Phi r VR equal to your will. First you have to calculate the phase voltage. Then Z is your, it is given. You can calculate the line current, that is power per phase current, basically power divided by 3 into voltage, per phase voltage into power factor 0.8. So cos phi r it is given. So sin phi r will be 0.6. VR equal to, you have calculated in phasor form, we have written VR plus J0. I is equal to I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. So this is I cos phi r and J sin phi r. We have expressed this way. So VS will be same way. It is VR plus I said. We'll calculate this. So magnitude of VS you can calculate. Now VS will be equal to, this is a phase voltage. So your line to line voltage will be √3 times. So then you will get this value. Now the percentage voltage regulation, it is VS minus VR by VR into 100. So it is in phase. So this is phase VS value, and VR is, it is, you have calculated, that is 12700. So the voltage regulation you can calculate. Now the line losses, again in the same way, it is a 3-phase line. So line losses will be 3 into I square R. So 3 into I square R means you can calculate the value. So the output power is 5000 kilowatt. So output power by the input power. So input power is your output power plus losses, and then you can calculate the transmission efficiency. Is it clear? Any doubt? Anyone?
Sir, please share the first part, sir, once again.
First part, yeah. This one, yes. Please tell me any doubt from this part.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, fine. So I will stop this class today. Okay, again, we'll next class will join. Okay, and you practice more problems on your inductance and capacitance calculation, whatever we have done, and you can take any books, solved example, unsolved example, you can do that. Okay, so those things will be helpful. And one more thing, the other part, who is taking, I think Nishant sir is taking. Huh? I am taking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Nishant sir is taking. Huh? So which chapter it is covered now?
Chapter 1.
What is that? What is going on?
The generation, power plant.
Oh, power plant. Okay. The first module, I think. Huh?
Yes, sir. First module.
First module. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. Thank you to all of you for
Thank
joining
you, sir.
today. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll meet in the next class.